Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Lakeville and is under the command of Angelina75 of OLIMP. Now, Angelina won the Weekend Lion last week with a nice little first class bruiser and Confederate, and now she's trying to set the first score to win this week's Lion. Game on! Tier 10 game with Tier 8 tanks in it, so she's middle tier, but there's plenty of opportunity for Angelina to lay some shells on the enemy and get some good start. Now she's got an 8-inch howitzer, 203mm caliber, capable of doing 900 alpha, 52mm of pen, and a 10.5 meter burst radius. She's aiming to the bottleneck at the pass. Enemies likely to appear any second, and when they do, she's going to put a round into them. Angelina very much enjoyed her Weekend Lion. Of course, it means that Talon 1958 has to get up and look after Remy, and of course he has to cook breakfast as well. Rounds out. First shot is a direct hit for 433. Angelina very quickly moves position. He doesn't want to get counter battery, but there are two Arty at the other end. They're both M53 M55s. On Angelina's side, there's a 212A, and he's not too far away, but the enemy Arty might try for a counter battery, you see, because Lakeville is one of those few maps where it is very, very easy to do counter battery if you know where to look. Angelina is very much aware that the enemy could deliver a shell directly on top of her, and she's decided to go for this Emil, who's decided to come up the valley. Rounds out. Direct hit, 328. She's moving already. You notice how she stopped to watch the shell to see what actually did, and then she starts moving. After she's actually seen what she did, it's so important to get that information to know exactly what happened to the shell. Because if she actually did get a blind hit, if she just moved straight away and she didn't see that, then she'd be missing some information that would be crucial to winning the game later on. Okay. Looking towards the town. Our guys are on our side of the town, but Angelina might actually be able to get a few rounds in there to help her teammates. The Wizzy 132, I don't know if you can see it, slightly over to the left. Yes, you can see it now. She can splash that guy and the T69 right on the corner. She's dialing in, rounds out, and yes, it landed very close to him, so he will have probably suffered some damage from that shot. And she's moving again. 2 marks of excellence already on the barrel and numerous awards painted on the side of the vehicles. Yes, she has achieved quite a bit already. Her reload time 32.80 seconds, standard reload 40.27. So she has reduced the reload time by about 8 seconds. Can't get a shot on those two unless they pull back a bit further, but she might be able to get a shot. Oh no, that's being interrupted by the church. But she's noticed something. There's a Batchat 25 TAP. That's the guy she hit at the start of the game. She fires a quick snap in there. Now she didn't hit him, but she might have hit somebody else who might have been hiding in that corner. Change position again, very nicely done. Got plenty of time to do it in. It's the M53, M55, designed and based on the M47 pattern. They literally took M47 tanks directly off the production line and then sent them to be converted. And another direct hit, this time on a Panzerkampfwagen 7. Picked up another 450 hit points of damage. It all adds up in the end. Trouble is, she's not getting any stun assist at the moment, mostly down to the fact that the tanks she's hitting are not in sight of her teammates, so they can't shoot them. Just saw the tracer from an enemy Arty, which tends to indicate that one of them is down on the east side of the map. Rounds out. She stuns the 430 and now she picks up some stun assist. Unfortunately, the tank that did that stun assist just got wiped out. That was the Object 430U. The good news is that most of the enemy tanks that tried to make it through the town have been wiped out, and we still have tanks there to defend. We're 2 down on the enemy at the moment, but Angelina's looking to try and support the guys who are trying to fight this area. Rounds out. Oh, now that's good. Angelina didn't get the kill, but she got 390 hit points. And then the T103 hit the M3 wide just after her shell went in. And he managed to get the kill shot. Angelina picked up 248 stun assist. But I think that may have been from the shots on by the 430U. Okay, looking up the valley, we've got this Panzerkampfwagen 7. She fires. Now, what happened there? I'm not sure that the shell actually went where she intended it to. In fact, I have the suspicion that it actually hit the ground on the cusp of the pass, and so she didn't get any damage off that shot at all. I'm looking around for a shell crater, but the shell definitely didn't hit the target. Nope, nothing in sight. Oh, there we go. And it's a T69. She fires. She gets the kill. So she's got that one. And we're 1 up on the enemy now. We were 2 down. Now we're 1 up. And our tanks are now streaming through the town, which means that Angelina has had some effect, because of course she was firing on those enemy tanks that are in that direction. Okay, Panzerkampfwagen 7, she's almost loaded. You can hear the enemy Arty firing. That guy's pulling back a lot. In fact, one of the enemy RT's just been spotted, but Angelina's got a red line. She can't hit that guy without relocating, which is annoying, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You see an easy target, but you can't hit it. Okay, she's going for the Panzerkampfwagen. She gets him, 376. And the other Arty was spotted. In fact, he's coming up the valley as well. And I think he's retreating because he knows that our teammates are actually at the verge of taking their cap area. They are now down by 3. There's only 4 left on their team. Angelina's been smacking this guy. Look at his lower plate. You can see the marks where Angelina's shells are impacting on him. He's not a happy bunny, but then that's what you get if you try to take on an Arty and you just don't change what you do. It's like banging your head against a brick wall, hoping that it will actually improve the pain. It won't. It just makes it worse. Well, the M53, M55 is desperate to stay alive, and there we've got a Wizzy 120, and he's receiving fire from one of our teammates, and Angelina can put him out of the game. Well, he goes down just before her shell arrives, so she doesn't get that kill. And now there's only one left. It's the Panzerkampfwagen 7. She's relocating actually to get a better angle on the enemy, not for self-protection. She doesn't have to relocate anymore. In fact, that Panzerkampfwagen 7 is now being surrounded by tanks who are all going for his hull. They're trying to kill him. Angelina's almost ready to shoot. Might be a last shot, and she doesn't have to shoot because he's gone down, and that is the end of the game. Well, in the first part of this video, in a 2 replay video, Angelina scored a 3rd class tanker and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. And on top of that, she got a Confederate. So she set the standards straight away with a 3rd class bruiser and Confederate. Her win rate for that game, 2,400, which is super, well, it's not super Unicum standard, but it's very, very good indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Well, she didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Kampfpanzer 07PE or 7PE, which is one of these new tanks that's just come out. Apparently, I've heard that you can actually buy them, but you have to pay a very stiff price. They're kind of overpowered at the moment. He got a high caliber and steel wall for 4,871 hit points, And on the enemy team, their Object 430U managed 4,620 hit points in second place. And in third place went to the T10 on our team with 3,555 hit points. Angelina picked up 2,250, which puts her a little way down the table because there are 2 players on the enemy team ahead of her, 4 on her own team. She's in 7th place on damage. When it came to kills, it was the T10 and the ELC M90. They both got 3 kills apiece. 2 kills went to this Kampfpanzer 7, the Object 140, the T103, and on the enemy team, their Object 430U, their M53, M55 got 2 kills, and their Object 257. Angelina only got the 1 kill out of the game. When it came to base XP, she's a little higher up the table in 6th place, because the ELC managed 1,234, the Kampfpanzer 7 managed 1,129, and then the T10 managed 1,040, and they were the only players who managed to get over 1,000 base, with Angelina picking up 778, which is better than all of the enemy team. She got 11 shots fired, not a huge amount, but it's an acceptable amount. Normally that would generate enough credits to actually give you the a decent score at the end. And a couple of shots actually didn't go exactly where Angelina wanted, but the good news is that she did get a sizable amount of damage, and she dominated the valley. 6 direct hits on the enemy, none of them penetrated, but she did get 8 splash. Damage of 2,250 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 7 of the enemy, kill 1, there's the Confederate. 728 hit points of stun assist off 7 stuns, and I think it was the lack of stun assist that actually meant a 3rd class rather than getting something higher. On a free-to-play account, Angelina made a profit of 17,896 credits for the battle, and she also took away 1,556 experience points as well, so as she says, it's a start, and she set the standard. Now, the very next game that she played is the very next replay you're going to see. So let's have a watch now. The second replay is on the Siegfried line map. It's Siegfried line encounter, and Angelina's in the 212A. That's the Tier 9 Soviet SPG. Well, as it's an encounter map, you start a little bit closer to the cap than you would in the standard battle. In fact, Angelina's headed out into the field because you get better angles on some of the enemy tanks if you shoot from over here. Of course, there's slightly more danger from shooting over here, but it does tend to work out in your favour. Okay, she's loaded, ready to go. First target turns out to be a 277 or a Shrek. She goes for the Shrek. Good choice. Rounds out. Oh, big hit! I think that was a low roll penetrating shot for 781, and she immediately got some stun assist because the Shrek got hit by a 90mm round, or at least looked like it was a 90mm, and he's gone. He's gone. Okay, we've got a Tortoise to deal with now. Angelina's not loaded yet, but she will be momentarily. Okay, rounds out. Looks good. Tis good. Direct hit for 229. Hit the hard armor on the Tortoise. And she's changing position to avoid counter battery. It looks like the GWE1 100 had also decided this is the best place to fire from. That Tortoise can't be too happy because he's actually been smacked by an HE round. But this is the joy of being in this position. You hit tanks like this 50 TP who think that they can come in and hurt our teammates, and no, they can't because they get hit in return. It kind of persuades enemy tanks not to camp in that little corridor. There is a converse position on the north part of the map, which is around about A5 or A4, where you can shoot at the tanks, and you can see Angelina's shell landed right on top of the turret near the commander's position. Okay, she can get a shot in there. I think she might have to splash him because she's very close to the tower. Rounds out. It hit the tower. Oh dear, RNG worked against Angelina there because she moved too far, I'm afraid, to the west, and she couldn't get the angle she wanted. And unfortunately, the shell actually impacted on the tower rather than the target. But that 50 TP is still there. And he's now down to a one shot. In fact, Angelina could get her first kill of the game by splashing him and taking him out. That removes the gun from the game. She's going to do it. Rounds out. Oh, how can you be unlucky with 2 shots in a row? Oh dear. That's not nice. So twice Angelina's tried to remove that 50 TP. And twice she's been defeated by the scenery. You can see the impact point of the last shell. It's actually very big in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Angelina's marked the spot to tell her teammates where she's aiming. Okay, is she going to fire? I think she might fire blind. She can't see the 50 TP, but she might just go ahead anyway, because he's more than likely still there. He is still there. Rounds out. She didn't get the kill shot. That actually went to a T-54 E1, but she did get the stun assist. Okay, well, the next target is a T-34, which is a Tier 8 American Premium Heavy Tank. We're 4 up on the, well, 3 up on the enemy. The score 4-1 at the moment. And Angelina's now looking for targets of opportunity. She's found some, but that one is a little too close to that building. A bit difficult to get a shot on target. And I think she might have to relocate because some of these enemy tanks are not in positions that she can hit. If she moves a little further to the east, she might be able to get shots on them. In fact, the Wizzy 113 actually did come into view, and she splashed in for 153. She'll settle for that and move on. Say the standard alpha for this Arty, of course, is 900 with 52mm pen and a 10.4 meters burst radius. The standard reload, 37.39 seconds. Angelina's lining up on the chart future. Oh, she gets a splash for 310. Yes, so she's reduced the reload time by 7 seconds already. And you can see with all those achievements on her vehicle, she certainly has played this Arty a lot. Okay, she's got a shot on the SU-130, and he goes down anyway. He was taken out by our Leopard 1. She can now hit this Lorraine 40 ton, and that would be a lovely target because he's got very thin armor and he's presenting his rear to us. And it looked like she moved on before Angelina's shell arrived. I think the reason she's changing position is she sees the opportunity of taking out that Lorraine 40 ton tank and possibly that T-34, and she'd be much better off shooting from this angle over here. So the GW E100 has come over here as well. Oh, look at this. There's the Lorraine. He actually squeezed into that little gap. Now he's stopped behind that rubble, but he moves on. Rounds out. Oh, lovely. 275 hit points. He took damage from 2. And the Lorraine goes down to the T832 on our team. So Angelina's picked up a nice bit of stun assist there. Now we're looking for the T34. Last seen in this area. Yep, there he is. He's very low on hit points. I think the Leopard's going to get him. But Angelina will probably try to give her a little bit of a stun. She fires the round in. Unfortunately, the target's already gone, so wasn't able to do anything about that. Looks like the enemy Arty is shooting at our Leopard. There's only 3 enemy left. 2 of them are Arty. They just lost their tank destroyer. It's now just a batch at 155, 58 and a 2128. There's the 212. Oh! That's an Amarak. Taken out by the Leopard. And the other one's only a short distance away. Angelina tries to get a shot, but nothing going there. The game is over, and it's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was was a second class tanker for Angelina75 in the 212A. Angelina managed to bruise the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 7, and she got another Confederate, this time at level, second class mastery. So actually that improves her previous score, which, as you know, is a third class bruiser and Confederate. And that puts Angelina very much in the lead with a second class. Her win rate from that game, 1,743. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, she didn't get the highest damage in this one because that went to the Object 277 on the enemy team with 3,853. Second place went to the Leopard prototype on our team with 3,450. And third place went to the Char Future 4 on the enemy team with 3,266. Angelina managed 2,084 hit points of damage. There are 3 players on the enemy team above her, 4 on her own team, which puts her in 8th place on damage. When it came to kills, the Leopard 1 did the best with 4 kills. He got one of the explosive demolition expert on the 212A by detonating his Amarak. 2 kills were earned by the BZ176, the Leopard prototype, who also picked up Levisleo's medal, the T832, the T110E3, and on the enemy team, only their Wizzy 113 GFT and the Lorraine 40 Ton both managed to get 2 kills. Angelina didn't get any kills at all, but that actually helped her to get the Confederate in that game. If she had got a kill, it might have actually stopped her getting that medal. When it came to base XP, you can see that Angelina is actually in 7th place because there were 6 ahead of her on her own team. The highest score was BZ176 with 1,234, so that's the only player who managed to get over 1,000 base in that game. And 980 went to the Leopard prototype, 892 went to the T832, and Angelina picked up 801. She fired 11 rounds, just like in the previous game. 11 rounds of ammunition, but it got her a decent score. 3 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot on this game, though. She did actually get a penetration. We did see it at the time. We thought, yeah, that has to be a penetrating shot. And I can tell you straight away, it was the Shrek. Yep, 781 hit points from that one alone. The only shot she got into him, because by the next time he was actually struck twice, once which actually earned her a bit of stun assist. Well, she did earn stun assist from that one, yes. And then, of course, he got killed off before she could put a second shot into him, and she had to settle for the tortoise instead. 7 splashes, damage of 2,084 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 6 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, and as I said, that helped her to get the Confederate. If she got a kill, that would have actually stopped her. If it had been the same tank that she'd hit before, she wouldn't have picked up the Confederate because it would have been less than 6. 681 hit points of stun assist of 8 stuns. On a free-to-play account, she earned 30,819 credits from that game, and she also picked up 1,602 experience points and says, now that's better, second class and Confederate. That lays down the standard that Talon is now going to have to match. He's going to have to get better, either a second class bruiser and Confederate and a better win 8, or he's going to have to get a first class bruiser and a Confederate or something of that nature, at least a first class, to beat her score. And I wouldn't put it past Talon to get an ace tanker, actually. He's done it many times before, so we'll just have to wait and see who actually gets at the next highest score. But at least Angelina's the first on the board, and she's in the lead. I hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give our video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm and gets the videos noticed by more people. And thank you for watching.